Good afternoon, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart. Today is Sunday, June 1st. Happy June 2014. And this is the stock trade ideas for the week of June 2nd. We're going to talk about two trade ideas that we exited last week, one we got into, a couple others that we mentioned on Friday, or I mentioned Friday morning on the Trade Ideas webpage. Some of you may or may not have been aware of those. They didn't execute, so they're still on. So we've got four new ideas we want to talk about. So let's start off with Silver Wheaton and Valero, which are the two I exited last week. So Silver Wheaton we had been in for a while. We got in here on May 7th, and it sure was taking its time. Of course, I guess it shouldn't be surprised. The average true range on this stock is back here was 0.54. So a little over 50 cents a day is the average between the high and low. So you're not going to get, so I get a little wary when you get into a stock that's got that type of ATR and the pricing is down here getting close to $20 a share. And so anyway, I mean, Silver Wheaton's a popular stock, and it tracks silver, so that's why I've got it in the portfolio to watch and trade. But you do have to be careful that it's not going to cover a great deal of space in a short period of time, unless usually, let's put it that way, usually. So we hung in here, and I finally had my initial target hit here on the 27th and exited with a profit. And then when I saw that it was continuing to move down, we're outside the Keltner channels to the downside here, below this dotted line, my Keltner channel. And I looked at the previous support that came in here. And when I drew this dotted line, it looked like it was right in the middle of all of this congestion. So I thought, well, that looks like a real logical place to gain support. So I exited right around 20.3 when it was trading there. And yeah, it went lower, went down to 20. Like, okay, you're never going to catch it all. And then now it's bounced back last couple of days. Now, this may continue to trend down further. I don't know. But right now, I'm happy to get out. We had a 37% profit, decent profit, was hoping for a lot more. But anyway, it was a profitable trade on Silver Wheaton. Now, Valero, on the other hand, this one was very frustrating. We got in right around, where did we get in here? I think it was around 50, well, it's right there, 56.01. Okay, so yeah, it'd be nice if I looked at the chart. 56.01. And so we kind of hung in. We got the 10 below the 20, 21. But the fact that the 21, we had a lot of divergence. And I really thought because of the divergence, I was going to get a stronger move to the downside. And as this started to stall out, the fact that the 21 was still above the 55 was really starting to bother me. But it's really interesting that on this day here, this day and this day, we got real close to hitting my initial target that would have guaranteed a profitable trade. I think I missed it by like 30 cents. And that's really, really frustrating, because if I hit my initial target that I've got, I'm going to sell half my puts, and then I'm going to put a break-even stop on the other half, so that, when the bid gets to where I bought it initially, I'm out. Worst case, because I don't want to turn a profitable trade into a losing trade if I can at all avoid it. Well, we didn't hit my initial target, and then we started to pull back, and then we hit a stop that I had set back up in here at 56.69, and literally this day we went right to it by the penny, and so that was kind of frustrating. And then I don't know. I have a feeling this may start to try to head to the up this way. But if it closes back down below the 10 again, I may have to reconsider. We'll just see how this plays out. A little bit gun shy right now. So we took like a 59% loss on the option trade on that one. So that's frustrating, and that's the way it goes. I mean, when you almost hit your target and then it doesn't, and it backs up on you. So, okay, let's, the next one, GME, Gamestop. Okay, Gamestop got in here with puts right about here at 38.01, right in here puts. So we're still hanging. I think this is negative. We got the 21 below the 55. We've got a little bit of sideways action here, but I really think there's a good chance this is going to continue to push down to the downside, because what we got here was a snapback little rally after we got this break down below the 55. And a lot of times you'll get that little snapback rally and then you'll resume and come on back down. And so I'm looking for this to break this low here. This looks like a little bit of a head and shoulder type action. So if this comes back down, that's what that's going to look like, and probably going to get a pretty decent move. The other thing is, on a bigger picture, a couple of things going on. I mean, GME has broken a trend line in place back from since last August, but then also it looks like a bigger head and shoulders may be in play here. So a bigger top. And when you take this line, the neckline, and you draw a parallel line up here and put it at the top of the left shoulder and, send it across, that's right about the neighborhood of where this right shoulder is formed and came back up to. Now, it went a little bit farther, but that's fine. So we'll see. Right now, we're holding this, and I've got to stop somewhere up in here. I think I can't remember exactly where it is. But again, the details are on the Trade Ideas webpage. And if you're a subscriber, you've got access to that. If you're not, simply subscribe, and you'll be able to get access to it and follow and get email updates when I put new posts out and all that good stuff. So the next one, all right, now let's talk about some new trade ideas. Put this on the post on Friday morning on Diamond Offshore. Didn't get executed. I've got an entry up into here, and I think this is pushing. It came back, and I really thought it was going to go on Friday, and then it just stalled out a little bit. So I think there's a good chance this is going to go and pop to the upside. But we'll have to see. We'll have to play it out. It's got to hit my entry point first, and then we'll see. That's why I like to have this kind of prove to me that it wants to move in that direction. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it swings up, hits it, and then it goes against you. But at least I'm not just saying, hey, I think it's going, and then I want to buy calls in here. I want to see it give me a little bit of movement in the bullish direction first. Okay, so that is Diamond Offshore, and this has had a pretty good pullback. It's has had a pretty good pullback from this top up here, and so that's why I think we got a good chance. And the fact that 21's above the 55, so I'm trying to stay in the direction of that. Now I know we got the 10 below the 21, but we could easily start to pull up here. And especially since we had some pretty good movement in here. Looked like 5 waves, pull back, looks like 5 waves up. So we could be into a new impulsive wave. All right, the next one is Mosaic. Mosaic has a pretty exciting picture to it, actually. If this continues to develop, this looks like an ascending triangle. And it's really, you almost can make the case as a little bit of a head and shoulders kind of thing, but I like the ascending triangle action better. So again, I've got a entry point up in here, and looking to buy calls and for this thing to take off. So that's Mosaic. And let's see, 3D Systems is the other one. 3D, I think we're, excuse me, I think we're heading to the downside here. And I'm going to stick with that. We've got the 21 below here, below the 55, and we're heading, we tried to get this little bit of a play up into here where this rallied pretty strongly. And I remember I played some calls in a little bit of a counter trend, and we got a nice move up into here. But then I was really suspicious of the resistance that was going to come in. I got out right in here, and that turned out to be perfect because 2 days later it got hammered, or 3 days later got hammered. And now we're back down here. And so really, this was kind of a counter trend play. This is going to be more of a with trend play. So I am looking for an entry to buy puts down below here, and that's going to be breaking this trend line. And I still think that this ABC, that this C is going to be down in here. That's where it equals 1.618% of A. So that's why I've got I've got this 40 on my mind, and if this starts to break and I get this entry point, I think there's a good chance it's going to come down and do that. And this looks a little bit like a bear flag, and that's why I've got these lines. Not quite parallel, but that's fine. Flag doesn't have to be parallel. Okay, that's 3D Systems, and then the last one is Pandora Media. All right, I really debated about this, and I think the pattern here of this little rising wedge, which is like a little bearish wedge pennant type formation in a downward move, has swayed me more to the fact that now we got this close below the 10. I'm staying with the trend. Okay, we got the 21 below the 55. The 55 is hard down. We've got this little pennant move. We got this little close below the 10 now. I think there's a good chance we're going to get some continuation move to the downside. So that's why I'm looking to buy puts down in here, and see how much of a move we can get. At least be retesting these lows, I think. Bottom of the Keltner channel, maybe initially, but at least retesting these, and there may be a chance that it comes down into this support area down in here, which would be down below 20. Now, it's already retraced quite a bit of a move, so we'll see. But I still think right now, I mean, you look to see what happened with Twitter, and all you had to do was, stay with Twitter to the downside with the trend, and you would have made a lot of money. I wish I had. I mean, I had some puts early and then got out, and again, it just goes to show you, it reinforces the fact of trying to stay with the trend. So let's see if that happens here with Pandora. And that's going to be the play, and we'll put that on for tomorrow. Again, the details are on the Trade Ideas webpage. So, all right, that's it for today. We talked about Silver Wheaton, Valero, GME, and then Diamond Offshore, Mosaic, 3D Systems, and Pandora. Okay. All right, everyone have a great Monday, Tuesday. We'll be back with you Tuesday night. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Talk to you soon.